Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Today we have a new board, Old Beach. New board, we seem to have inherited a board, and it's about 7'6". It's thinner. The back has a thin fishtail, and the nose is a little sharper, a little pointier than the 7'6" that we usually ride, or Wes usually rides. So I thought we'd give it a try today because we went to Newport, Old Beach. It was small, probably knee-high to maybe some waist highs coming through, so pretty small. But wanted to give it a try. That's why I took the bigger board. And we went out about 7:30. Still some kids from the school were there, a lot of them. So we moved down towards the pier a little bit to try to get away from them, but they were everywhere. So that made it challenging because they're not very courteous, and they drop in on you and they cut you off and different things, and they're not good, so you got to watch they don't run into you or you don't run into them. So it's a little tricky while they're there. And we got into a couple of rubs there with some of the kids, got dropped in on, almost ran over another one. So that's just one of the things you have to deal with at Newport. But getting back to the board, this is a little thinner than the 7'6" from Rocking Fig. It's a Halt from Santa Cruz, and like I say, we inherited it, so we thought we'd give it a try. And it maneuvers pretty good. At first, first wave I took off on, I tried to turn as if I was on a small board, and it just didn't turn. And so I continued to turn, but the board continued to go straight, and I kind of belly flopped into the water. Not a very big wave, so nothing to worry about there. But then on the second wave, I thought I'd just try a little slower turn, and I had to step back a little, put my weight a little bit further back as I turned, and it made a nice smooth turn. And then it went straight pretty good. Just didn't try anything tricky at first. Just wanted to see how I could turn it. So it took me about 3 waves or 4 waves to get the turning down. And at Newport, as you may have heard in the past, I usually catch a lot more waves than I do at Huntington because they're a lot easier. In fact, the paddle out was maybe 15 yards, whereas opposed to Huntington Beach, you're looking at maybe 100 yards out. So very easy to get out at Newport. So I was able to get out quickly and catch more waves. And so by the 4th wave, I caught a good left, and I tried to do a couple of turns, one off the bottom, then one off the top, one off the bottom, one off the top. Very, very mellow, very more straight than turns, but just kind of rolling up and down on the wave. And so I kind of got used to it by the 4th wave. And then I got a backside wave, and I thought I'd try my deep bottom turn on that, and which I made, but then the wave wasn't big enough to continue. But I did get a good turn in going backside, so it does turn good. And paddling in, it wasn't quite as easy as I thought it was going to be, being that it's a bigger board, and I was expecting just to drop in really easy, but I did have to paddle a little more than I thought, which is still not, it was still a lot easier than a short board because it's 7'6", I think, and it's got a lot of foam. So I was able to plane out and get into a lot of waves. And as the day rolled on, it became easier and easier to paddle in once I got used to the board. And so it was pretty good. And then I took off on the left, and then some other kid dropped in on me, and I almost hit him. I turned hard left right as he dropped down, so I had to cut back hard to miss him. And I yelled at him, to get out of the way, but he didn't understand. And so he said, he made some lame excuse about he thought I was going to go the other way. Well, you don't think, you have to know which way someone's going before you drop in on a wave. And then a little bit later on, his friend, I took off right next to him, and we were rail to rail, practically touching elbows as I was going left. And he didn't back off. As I stood up, I was right underneath his board as he took off. And so I had to ease up a little bit, but I tried to push him off the wave, but I couldn't quite catch up. And then he cut back. I almost ran him over. And then as I got up, I told him, watch out, it's a good way to get hurt. And he just stared at me with a dumb adolescent look on his face. So, like I said, that's just one of the things you deal with at Newport. It's by the pier. But overall, not bad. I went further south. The current was going south slowly. So yeah, as you sat there, I mean, you slowly drifted south, very, very slowly. But I paddled to get away from those two idiots. I'm sorry, excuse me, those two younger boys who don't know how to surf very well, don't understand the rules of surfing. So I moved south, and with Mike. Mike was south, and he was trying a smaller board as well today. And at first, he was having a hard time with it because it's a lot. You know, when you come off a 9.6 board and you go down to a 7-foot board, it feels unstable. It wobbles as you're trying to get up. But by the end of the day, by an hour, he was standing up and taking some good waves left and right. So mostly rights because he stands up a regular foot. So he got some good. I saw him get a really good right that went for quite a ways, and he was able to ride it pretty smoothly. So he got used to the board pretty quickly, and he's thinking that maybe he might want to go down from his 9.6 to a smaller one. So that could be a good change for him. So he did a good job on that board. Other than that, the water is still warm. The sun is out. I had my summer suit on, and I was plenty comfortable. In fact, towards the end, as the sun got a little higher, it became to be uncomfortable with the heat. So here we are, middle of November, and we've just got such great weather and great surf. Not big, but it was great. No wind. A little offshore breeze, not much. But as we sat there, it started to shift onshore and got a little textured towards the end, but for the most part, pretty smooth and glassy. So I've been pretty lucky to get some great surf right now, so pretty happy about that. So all in all, good day at Newport Beach Pier, between the pier and the first jetties to the north. That's where all the rookies go, and that's where I took my rookie today, so it was great, worked out great. So, all right, that's all for today. Short day, really, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. If waves get bigger or smaller, I don't know. But until then, check out our sponsors, Merch Hero, Task Bullet, Swing Easy Hammocks, and nappyclothing.com. Thanks for listening. See ya.